right. Now, I always like to start with a question, Tall Paul.
Okay.
Okay. What do Kamala Harris, um, NFL quarterbacks, and food porn all have in common?
I believe those are the topics for our show today.
It's a loaded question, big boy. That's the way, because I figure I'll start with something easy, and then we'll get a little harder as time goes by. But yeah, those are the three topics that we're covering.
Yep.
On this, the 8th episode of the Producers Podcast.
But who's counting? You're Jack Silver. I'm Paul Joseph. It's good to have you here.
But I had to count, and he's Paul Joseph. Tall Paul, I'm Jack. Again,
there you go with the pointing thing. So you got to figure out which way to point.
No, I got it now. You're Tall Paul. I'm Jack Silver, and it is the Producers Podcast. And I know you've got, we're in order to record this, you were running a little late. You got a little dust up.
Listen, the good thing about being at home is that you're at home. The bad thing is it's one event after another, like we've talked about in the past. My pool was leaking. Yeah. Had to have leak detectors come. They found where it is. Now the guys are out there right now as we speak. Mm-hmm. They're drilling, they're sanding, they're doing all this stuff. I don't know when they're going to need me. I may have to run out for a minute.
Okay.
But they've done so much work, and they're filling these holes. And I had no idea what went into, keeping a pond filled with water.
Well, it's what we've talked about too. Not only what you just said, but just the noise, the racket. The goings on. The same thing with my place. There's workers down the way. They're laughing. They're joking around. I think they got somebody who resembles Jerry Seinfeld telling jokes down there, because all they do is laugh and play music all day.
It seems like a happy job. Maybe that's what we should be doing.
And I've never seen igloo coolers that big. There's like breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the igloo cooler, and they keep. But I digress, because
and strapped to the back of trucks. They've got those big coolers strapped to the back of their truck.
But the bottom line is, we've all had a buttful of this corona, the home staying at home stuff.
Yeah. And
that brings me actually to our first topic today, Paul.
Oh yeah.
Because while all the pool work is going on, and I've been ducking the neighbors' day workers.
Yeah.
We've been doing pretty good with the home cooking.
Oh, yeah, me too. I've learned so many things. I really have.
All right, so let's start out, because normally we don't start out with pictures, but I do like it. And let's start with something that you sent me, which just blew me away.
Okay.
Which was,
what you like?
Let's see,
what did I tantalize you with? Because I've got many things coming out of PJ's kitchen. Look at that.
What are you looking at? Are you looking at the...
Look at that waffle, that blueberry waffle.
Is that a beautiful blueberry waffle? And you made that yourself?
Yes, that's a homemade blueberry waffle. Now look at it and notice how the butter kind of just is drizzled in there, and it kind of gets into certain little crevices, and then the blueberries, and then the fantastic sprinkle of powdered sugar on top with, and that's fake bacon, by the way. That is the
I was going to say.
That's the Morningstar slab of bacon that you see.
And so there. It's not real pork or anything. It's like vegetables.
No, it's got the same stuff in it that the plate does itself, but it's still good. I like it. I like it. I'll chew it up all the time. It's really tasty. So I was proud of that, because that was my breakfast entree.
Well, you should be proud. And again, the reason I call it food porn is because everyone keeps posting the pictures of what they're making at home.
Oh yeah.
So like, for example, let's see, what do I got to
what do you do?
I don't have any breakfast foods.
No?
But I do have.
Well, you let Jimmy Dean make your breakfast. Correct?
Right. But I do have, let's say, how about this one?
Yeah.
Now that is a Chicago deep dish pizza.
Wow.
That I had flown in. And
okay. You didn't make it.
No, well, no. First of all, I don't make things from scratch. I'm not you or our friend Tom.
Yeah.
Who does everything from scratch. This came in a cooler. You take it out of the freezer and you cook it. That thing is gold.
That's beautiful.
That is a deep dish Chicago style pizza. And
see, I'll tell you right now what I like about that. First of all, I fell in love with Chicago pizza. There used to be a place here years ago called Chicago Pizza Works.
Yeah.
And they would bring those pans, all deep dish. Yeah. They'd scoop it out right in front of you. Delicious. But look at the sauce on that. I love sauce.
Oh, the sauce. And by the way, the key on this, The sauce is on the top, if you'll notice.
Yes.
The way they do it is they put the sausage on the bottom, or the pepperoni on the bottom, and all the meats or toppings are on the bottom, and then the cheese, and then the sauce.
See, I like that.
That's the key, Paul. So
like
that's some food porn right there.
That is some good food. I made a pizza too.
Well, you know something? I think, are you talking about this bad boy?
Oh, you have a picture? You do? Yes.
Oh,
there's
no,
my pizza.
Right. Now, you made that yourself?
Yes. Well, you know, the little woman helps with this too, of course.
Well, sure.
But yes, that's our pizza. And that what I'm proud of is the sauce, because as I said, I'm a sauce guy. Yeah. I made all the sauce myself.
Well, that's amazing. And again, you got to put your time to good use during this COVID.
I'm doing it.
And so many people are making their own stuff at home, whether it's from scratch or out of the box.
Yeah.
You know, like I've said, I'd give anything to eat at a real restaurant, but I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
So we've been chowing down on stuff like that. No, that pizza's gorgeous.
Thank you. Notice the allotment of sauce. It's quite heavy.
Let's keep the food porn rolling on the Producers Podcast. I don't know if this rings a bell.
What is it?
Look at that.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's a production of my wife. She did that whole thing, stuffed baked potatoes, actually last night.
Yeah.
And I did send you the picture.
Yeah.
But look at those bad boys. Those are like a half pound each of deliciousness. Ooh. And what she does, it's very easy. You know, she bakes them, carves out the center, mixes them with all kinds of little ranch, a little sour cream, some garlic, salt, pepper, you know, that kind of stuff, sour cream back in, and bakes them with cheese on top. Delicious.
So it's basically one of those twice baked potatoes, I think is what they call them.
Exactly.
Oh, those things are gold. All right. Well, I couldn't possibly have any more food porn for you, Paul, but
you do somehow.
I lied. Look at this thing.
Whoa.
Well,
what in the world?
No, this thing is insane. You get a full chicken from the market.
Yeah.
And then you let the little lady do the herbs and spices.
Well, that's a lot of herbs and spices. It's growing right out of the middle of it, the chest cavity.
Right. We've got a rosemary stalk that's growing out of the middle of the freaking chicken, excuse me. But trust me when I tell you. And then you see those little tomatoes around it.
Oh, yeah. I love that. I see garlic floating down by the leg. I mean, it looks delicious.
No, it is. And so that is excellent. And, you know, the thing is, like all of this stuff, you cook it one night and then you have leftovers for multiple days.
Right.
So that's a tip, Paul.
Boy, that's beautiful. So in a way, I kind of like the way you guys do it. I mean, you start with a base, like your base is the chicken already done.
Right.
And then you add the extras in, you know, you know.
Well, to quote Emerald, the famous chef, you know, I don't know where you get your chicken, but where I get mine, it doesn't come, you know, seasoned.
Okay.
So you really got to dress it up a little bit. And there's no way that, well, actually one other, I got a couple other ones, but I'll fast forward to this thing.
Okay.
One of the best things I ever got from a friend of mine was the Beer of the Month Club.
Oh, yeah.
So you're going to have to wash this stuff down.
Is that your selection of wash?
That was this month's selection of wash. I've never been a big craft beer guy.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you go to Ralph's, there's 8,000 beers.
I know.
But they send you 4 different ones.
Wow.
I'm sorry, three of 4 different, whatever the hell it is. You get 3 of each of 4 different brands.
Did you try all those already?
Oh, those are long gone.
Okay. Which was your favorite out of that group? Can you recall?
Well, it was the IPA, which is like an Indian pale ale. I think it's the
IPA. I see it there.
You see that one? That was good. The one on the left I didn't like. It was like an oatmeal base, a little too stout for me.
Yeah, stout is rough.
And then the mango one on the far right, little sweet. But as I'm saying all this, it went down plenty easy.
I was gonna say, all there are empties now. So.
Right, and as you know, Paul, there's nothing better than beer.
Yeah. And
there's nothing better than free beer.
No, that combination is pretty deadly.
So I'm pretty much done. The only other thing I got, this one. Now, we've talked about this before, the cooking in the crock pot. Like, I didn't know much about crock pot cooking.
Yeah.
So we'll take a pound of chicken, a pound of beef,
right,
and a bunch of marinara sauce. You put that in this crock pot at like 7 or 8 in the morning. Mm-hmm. You let it cook all day. And then after work, quote unquote, your dinner's ready.
Well,
And
you know,
that thing was gold.
yeah, I didn't know about crock pots either, that they
Yeah.
worked so well, but I know now, yeah, everyone's using them. And, you know, I wish we could taste this stuff. I'm hungry now. You made me hungry. I mean,
Well,
I want to eat.
well, I want to eat all the time. And
Yeah.
luckily, no, my hair's grown longer, which is horrifying.
Yeah.
I think I've lost some weight because I'm just eating smaller portions and also walking and swimming, as we've talked about. So
Yeah.
look, everybody, my advice during the COVID,
Yeah.
strap on the feed bag.
Well, that's it. It's
Just
comfort food, you
Right.
know, it's
We all
fun. Now I'm into this baking thing. My new thing is this. You'll hear more of this and I'll show it to you and all that.
All right.
I'm doing a sour bread.
Oh,
you have to-
sourdough.
yeah, but you start with sourdough
Right.
mix, the mother they call it. So I'm learning about all this, and you make the mother, which is
Right.
the main little sourdough mix.
Yeah.
But what I'm finding out is you have to feed this thing a couple times a week. They call feeding it, where you take out half of it and you put in more flour and more water to keep the fermentation going. I mean, there's so many elements to this, but the exciting part is you take a big lump of it and you throw it in and you mix up your bread or you mix up your pancakes, and the stuff tastes amazing.
No, I love sourdough. And the only thing I would say about that, about making your own sourdough at home,
Yeah.
I'll say the same thing about people who brew their own beer.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever been to Gelson's, Paul? There's
Do they have
8,000.
sourdough there?
There's 8,000 sourdough breads.
Can I get one there?
You have to make your own.
Well, yeah, it just kind of, you know, first of all, it whiles away the time.
Yeah,
The family likes it, and it smells great in the house. You know, you can't escape the fact that I know Gelson's in these great markets have the best cookies. They've got all this stuff. But when you have chocolate chip cookies wafting through your house, or you have sourdough bread wafting through your house, that's different, right?
Well, it is. It is. And let's face it, that makes everybody feel a little more at home, a little more at ease, because let's face it, everybody's on edge.
Everybody's on edge.
This COVID has got everyone on edge. So anything you can do like that gives you a little taste of what it used to be like.
That's right.
It is smart.
It's smart. It's all good.
Well,
you know? And speaking of that, one thing I wanted to throw in here,
yes, sir,
is the fact that movie theaters coming back. AMC is coming back. It's August 20th. They're opening, and the reason I like this is they're charging 15 cents to get in. They're reverting back 100 years because it's their 100th year anniversary, and they're opening limited capacity.
Okay.
But they're charging 15 cents to get in and see movies. Okay. And I think it's going to be really interesting. I think it's really good for the economy, and they're going to space everybody out. They're not going to pack people in side by side and all that stuff.
All right. Well,
honestly, I don't know if I'll go or not, you know, but
it sounds like a really cool idea. And it, you know, hearkening back to the early days of 15-cent movies, I don't think I'm ready to brave an AMC movie or any movie theater unless it's totally socially distanced. But even that, I've grown to just watch movies on. I was watching Deliverance just the other day.
You like that better, huh?
Well, a very current movie.
Yeah,
you know.
I was gonna say.
All right. Now, but all right. Speaking of comfort,
yes.
Can we get some sports going, Paul?
Please, let's go. Yeah, I think you and I need to do a league too, because.
Well, I want to make. I know you've got a group of your fantasy guys that you've been with for a long time.
Yes.
My fantasy group kind of got disbanded when my sports network got disbanded.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try to stay in the pocket. And I do want to play. I love me some fantasy. I love to hate it. I hate to love it.
Yeah.
But, you know, hopefully in about 4 weeks' time, there'll be the first NFL game, and I can't wait. So what I thought I'd do, because, you know, again, just like the food porn, I like to litter these vodcasts with pictures.
Yes.
So I thought, well, let's talk about which quarterbacks are going to really need to step up in the season that hopefully will start that first the
10th.
The 10th, that Thursday night football.
Yeah, September.
So let's start with this young man right here.
How about him? He's my favorite.
Well, as well he should be. Correct me if I'm wrong. 6 Super Bowl rings.
Yeah.
But now in a new location in Tampa.
Yep.
So Paul, what do you think Tom Brady's outlook is for his season down in Tampa?
I think that Mr. Tom Brady is going to have an amazing year this year because of the fact of who he's throwing to.
They've got weapons.
he's got so many weapons now, and he's got his security blanket, Gronkowski, with him.
Yeah.
And I just think the guy's out to prove that he can win in another colored uniform besides the Patriots.
Yeah.
And I'm voting for him. I've got him on my team. I have a keeper. I'm in a keeper league.
Yeah.
You get to keep 5 players.
Yeah.
I'm keeping him, which is against what all the experts say. Don't keep quarterbacks, unless, of course, it was Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm keeping him. I'm keeping him as one of my 5, and I believe he's going to have a great season.
Yeah, I think you're right. It should be fun to watch, if nothing else. And, you know, it's funny, I'm reading my Sports Illustrated, and there was a whole, you know, there's been a few quarterbacks over the years that have left teams after long stays.
Yeah.
Including Joe Namath, after a long thing with the Jets, came to the Rams. Brett Favre, of course, started with the Jets and then ended with the Minnesota Vikings. And then even if you really want to go way back, Johnny Unitas, who was a Colt for so many years, had 1 year as a bad San Diego Charger at the time. So let's see what Tom Brady does. All right. So speaking of other quarterbacks, you mentioned this stud.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, dog.
That's the guy.
What a player.
That is the guy.
I think even though it's very difficult to go back to back with championships in the NFL, I think with Patrick Mahomes and that crew and everything I've been reading in all the different magazines, they've got a lot of returning players and the core of their team. So I think this guy is going to continue to put up, you know, unbelievable numbers in real football and certainly in fantasy.
Here's the thing with Patrick Mahomes, you cannot go against him. You know what I mean? You can't say that he's not going to be in the top 3 quarterbacks this year, because you know he is going to be there. He's just too much of a player. But will he get back to the Super Bowl? You know, I maybe it's 50-50, but you know that all the top teams have schemed all offseason.
Well, that's
how to beat him, and that takes everybody down a notch. You know?
That's what happens in the NFL. Once they watch a lot of film on you, they can scheme against you. Although the guy can throw from any angle.
Yes,
I don't have a picture of. Oh, yes, I do. Well, Lamar Jackson.
Well, there's the other
Sports Illustrated. This guy is probably the best quarterback in the league. He and Mahomes. But I don't have my actual picture that I've got, but I've got a couple other shots of guys who I think should be doing some cool things this year. Let's try this guy, Jimmy G.
You know, Jimmy G, of course, from the tutelage of Belichick and under the wing of Tom Brady for years.
Right.
Now he's with the 49ers, and he is he's due to break out. In fact, they just signed Kittle.
Right, the tight end
to a $75 million deal or something.
To an extension, and the
5-year extension.
And the thing about Jimmy G that if you'll notice with this picture, Paul, not a very good-looking fellow.
Yeah, poor guy didn't get the love stick.
Yeah, I mean, not only are you an NFL quarterback, but you look like that.
Could you imagine trying to be in the same high school class as that clown and trying to get a girl to go to the prom with you when he's around?
No, I do not.
There's no way.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But good luck to the 49ers. Then there's always, you know, this stud who, you know, you can never say that. Russell Wilson.
And by the way, his wife.
Oh, another one who scored big. Sierra, right? The pop singer.
She's so beautiful. We interviewed her, a few months ago, and so beautiful in person and such a sweetheart. I just love him and I love her. They're amazing people.
They are great. And the Seahawks are always in the hunt.
Yeah.
And he's kind of a middle of the pack, I think, fantasy quarterback. Yep. But if it falls and you can get him, not the worst idea, because he does throw a lot of touchdowns.
He goes for it. He's always up there. Yeah.
All right, let's see. I'll just work you through another few of these.
Yeah, pictures. Let's go. I like
it. Just because I have them, and you don't have to worry about anybody. All right, now actually this one. Now, Cam Newton. Yeah. Who now is with the New England Patriots.
Right.
Talk about a career change after years in Carolina. What do you think he'll do? Cam Newton will do as a Patriot quarterback.
Well, I think if he's given the opportunity, he's going to come out, doing what Cam does, which is a combination of running, throwing very well. The guy's huge. What is he, 6'5"? Oh, and he moves like a jaguar.
Yeah.
And, I think that he could do very well. Now, does he have the supporting cast for it? Kind of more running than throwing, really, you know?
Yeah, there's a couple good receivers left, but you know, but you can never count out Belichick and his teams and the offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
you've never worried about. You don't have to worry about that guy. All right, let's keep
going. I've always liked Cam, and I don't think he to this day has played up to what he could really do.
Let's see what he does. Just a few more because I got him. How about this guy? Speaking of quarterbacks, Deshaun Watson of the Houston Texans. You know, they were talking about maybe his crutch or his go-to guy, DeAndre Hopkins, has left.
Yeah,
I think went to Arizona. But this guy is another fantasy darling too. So if you get a chance to pick him up, Deshaun Watson always does pretty well for fantasy, but they always kind of fall a little short of going the distance.
Yeah, and I think for this guy, I've always been a fan of his. I forecast he's going to have a little trouble this year. I don't think this is going to be his year. I think he's a great quarterback. There's just too many guys right now that are a notch above him in terms of having the right combination of people with them. Yeah. That can prosper more than probably he can.
Yeah,
without Hopkins.
And I think there's questions about the coach, Bill O'Brien. He's like the coach and the GM, and he can't figure out what to do. And so you need all hands on deck.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of coaching changes, hold on.
Yeah.
Where is it? Hold on. Young Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Now, this guy is a stud, and I think Mike McCarthy, the former Green Bay coach, is now the head coach of the Cowboys, and let's see how that works out for Dak.
Well, they've changed his Cowboy style with Kellen Moore being there, the quarterback offensive coach, and he's taught this guy how he can throw, and he's amazing when he does throw. He's got the weapons.
Right.
Gallup and these people now that I think Cooper. Yeah, I mean, he's got the weapons, and then he's got in the backfield Ezekiel Elliott.
That's all you need.
And Pollard to back him up. I mean, I think that if they play their cards right, I'm looking at Dallas as one of the leading teams this year.
Well, let's hope so, because I know everyone loves the Cowboys. Either you love them or you love to hate them.
Yeah.
All right, just a couple more, and then we'll move on to the final part of the Producers Podcast, which will be the new vice president that was picked by Biden.
Yes.
So if you can just stay awake for 2 more seconds.
Oh, they're good.
All right. Well, here, this guy, you know, this could be a really interesting thing. This is Tua Tagovailoa.
Yes.
Who got drafted out of Alabama and is now with the Miami Dolphins. So
yeah, I mean, you got to wonder how much time he's really going to see. I mean, Fitzpatrick is the starting quarterback there, and Fitz runs in cycles. He's really hot and then he's really cold. So
the minute
you might see this guy.
Yeah, the minute he gets cold, they're going to go to Tua.
They're going to go to Tua, and then we'll see how he does. But yeah, he's a top-notch guy.
Couple more, and then I'll get out of your hair. Then, actually, this guy I really like. This is Josh Allen, the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, young kid who runs the football probably too much, needs to learn to throw it.
Yeah.
But I think they got who's the Minnesota the Minnesota wide receiver. Hold on.
Oh.
Stephon Diggs. I'm sorry. They got Stephon Diggs to the Bills. So that should help him.
That'll help him. And the thing I like about Buffalo the most is their defense.
Yeah.
They've really built that defense well, and I think they're going to be a top-notch defense this year.
Do you still like this guy, Drew Brees?
I love Drew Brees. I mean, he had one of the best seasons of anybody last year.
Yeah.
And what is he, 38 years old or 39, whatever he is. But he's just a gamer. He wants to play. And I love him, and I think he's going to have another good season.
Good. We love him. Just while I'm here. Oh, speaking of enigmas, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
God love him.
Yeah.
You know, he's a hell of a nice guy, and you know he can play, but somehow he's another one who never really gets to the promised land.
Yeah, I just I don't see a lot for him this year, but you never know. I mean, you haven't gotten to your favorite team yet, which I'm wondering.
Well,
why
it's funny.
The delay in getting?
No, the delay. All right. Well, then I'll have to do this. Hold on.
Yeah, because I think that Aaron Rodgers is going to do very well this season.
Yeah,
I've got some weapons.
I've got some good pictures with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
but they're usually him snarling at me,
Yeah.
He hates when I take pictures of him at the golf tournaments, and
Yeah.
if I, God forbid, I talk to him, about
Not the
Green
friendliest
Bay.
guy in the world.
Oh, he's a barrel of laughs.
Yeah.
So I'll give you, God love him, and let's hope the Packers do some damage this year, because through my marriage,
Yeah.
I've become a big Packers fan.
I know.
And he is a stud. But again,
he's a stud, and he's got reinforcements now, and I think that they're going to do better than they've done the last couple seasons. And look for them to be up there. And guys like Aaron Rodgers no one's really talking about him this year.
Well, maybe that's a good thing for him. When he stays low in the foxhole, and his second year with Matt LaFleur, the head coach, maybe good things will happen. So, all right. So that's a little producers podcast, tie a bow around the upcoming quarterbacks.
Yep.
2020. And let's hope we get a full season. Everybody stays healthy. I know college football is really in peril, but the NFL still rules the roost. And it would be awesome if that just comes to fruition. We get a full season.
And maybe we'll do wide receivers next week.
As long as I have pictures of them, Paul.
Yeah, well, you
remember, I don't do anything without a picture, because
tear some off your wall there behind you.
I got them. All right, so the last one, and we'll wrap it up. Speaking of pictures.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, and we've done a little politics, Paul.
Yeah.
But you're Tall Paul Joseph. I'm Jack Silver. We're just radio producers and program directors. I'm not. I've worked at radio stations that have political slant.
Yep.
But I can honestly say that over the past 3.5 years,
mm-hmm.
I've gone the ostrich route. I've stuck my head in the sand, and I'm hoping when it's all said and done, I can come out and good things will happen. How do you feel about this Kamala Harris being picked by Biden? And do you think Biden, Harris, Trump, Pence, how are you handicapping that?
Wow. Well, first of all, I think, she's an amazing woman. And anybody that says she's not is crazy, because she is. And so for Biden, I thought it was an interesting pick, because I liked the pick. I did. And I think I mentioned this the other day when I was talking to you. The fact that he chose California was an interesting pick, because he wins in California either way. It's a Democratic state.
Right.
It always goes Democratic. So he didn't really need that support there. So there must have been, his thinking must have been, like, I know he was looking at Susan Rice or Karen Bass, which were both pretty good choices. Karen Bass would have been really good. But again, she's from Los Angeles, California. So, yeah, he didn't get the support he needed maybe in a state where the Republicans are really strong. But he did get, 2 out of the 3 with a minority woman that knows what she's doing, has a strong record. I just think you got to watch out with how they spin this and where they go from there. I think the race is going to be a lot closer than people think. People that are forecasting one way or the other right now, I believe are wrong. I think this thing's going to go down to the wire. It's almost going to be like the last election with Hillary and Trump, where they were back and forth the whole night.
Right, and at some point they did predict Hillary would win, and then Trump came out. Well, here's what I'll say, and we can wrap it up today, because I'm very tired. This has taken a lot out of me.
This is exhausting.
This is exhausting. I mean,
all these pictures that you grab for us is amazing.
I mean, the food porn into the quarterbacks, into the vice presidential choice. Here's what I would say, and to kind of maybe bring a sports analogy into it.
Yeah,
I think it's time for a coaching change. Whatever you thought of the first 3.5 years of President Trump, it's your business. If you liked it, great. If you didn't like it, also great. I think it's time for a change, because I've already seen the playbook of this guy. Mm-hmm. I'm ready for another change, just like in football. If you're losing, or things are getting a little awry, or there's a global pandemic and you're not really satisfied with the outcome, then I think it's time for a change. And I think what you're seeing here with Biden and Harris look pretty good to me. I'll be really interested, I guess, if I'm super bored, with the debates. That's got to be classic.
Oh, no, we'll be talking about it, but you're going to want to watch every second of these debates.
I'll do that. I'll make a commitment to you right now, Tall Paul, that I'll try to get a little more ingrained in the politics.
Yes.
so that we can bring it to the podcast.
Let's do it.
For me, you give me Paul Joseph's blueberry pancakes, or, you know, that pizza you made.
It's coming.
Or those pictures of Patrick Mahomes that I can't get enough of.
I know.
I'm more into that, but I think it's time that we all kind of, for the next, 90 days or whatever it is,
put it into overdrive. 82 days. Can you believe it?
All right. Well, listen, this has been awesome.
Yep.
As usual. I know you got to get out. Are the guys ripping up your pool still?
Yeah. Could you slow down out there? They're destroying everything, but they're doing a good job. Now I got to, how much does it cost to refill a pool?
Well,
it must cost a lot.
Filling up with water, your water bill is going to go through the roof.
Yeah.
As long ago predicted here. All right. Yeah. He's Tall Paul Joseph, Jack Silver, the Producer Podcast, episode 8. We're out.